here today. He's at a retreat for his church, but that's okay. I know how to swing this show. So we're going to begin our show with my inspiration in just a minute. So enjoy the theme music. Okay. Well, I hope that your week, or your weekend rather, has been one that has been just tremendously fun. I know mine was fun, but it was also busy as well. And now I'm getting ready for the week. I'm definitely prepared for the week because, the week is where you get to extend yourself totally out to helping others and to just doing the things that you'd like to do. So, we've been having some cold weather outside, but it hasn't been too bad. It's been okay. I've been dealing with it. And so I don't know for sure how the week is going to be, whether it's going to be really cold for next week or whether it will be a little warmer. But I guess we'll have to watch the weather forecast so that we can be able to tell. Well, as you know, today we are going to have a guest caller today, and she happens to be one of the authors to the publishing company that I actually belong to. The publishing company that has the best publisher that you can name, Miss Audrey Orey. And so her name is Sherika Duncan, and she's going to talk to us today about her book. But before we listen to Miss Sherika Duncan, I'm going to give you your inspiration for the week. Commercial break.
Peloton, here we go. Max output up this hill.
Today, my inspiration is going to be making your life a masterpiece. Now we know when we think of a masterpiece, we're thinking about something that is extraordinary, something that is unique, and something that is great. And so when we think about our lives, if we don't think that our lives are great, who will? So, when we think about our life, we have to think about our life as being important, and we should cherish every moment of the life that we live. And we should treat each day as if it's almost our last day. Living life should be doing the things that we all just imagine and not putting any limitations on what we do, how we do it, whether we have to do it, nor what can we do. Your limitation on your life is only just your imagination. Each day, the harder we push ourselves, the better we will become, and the better our life will be. So remember, if we don't push ourselves, no one else is going to do it for us. So just remember, your life is truly, truly important. And that is my inspiration for today. Now, I'm going to get ready to call my my guest for today. And I'm going to let her talk. I'm going to interview her. And if you have any questions for my guest today, you definitely can send those questions to me through my email, which is Deborah, dwr9783 or you can send them to liveinthedivasden@gmail.com. So we're going to get ready so that I can call up my guest, Sherika Duncan.
Hello.
Hi, Sherika. This is Deborah Ware from Live in the Divas Den. How are you?
I'm great, Deborah. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. Well, as I was telling my audience today, you are an author, and you are an author with the same publishing company that I am with, which is 13 and Joan, and I just love them to death, you know. And so for me, meeting another author, that's amazing to me. So we're going to get started with your interview. And one of the first questions that I want to ask you is to, first of all, would you let the audience know where you are from? And then I'll continue on with giving, you some more questions.
Okay, great. I am originally from Madison, Florida. Born in Valdosta, Georgia, but raised in Madison, which is 50 miles east of the city capital, city of Florida, Tallahassee. Home of FAMU. That's where I currently reside.
Okay, all right. And we know that FAMU has a very good team as well, and that's a very good college as well. So my first question for you today is about when was the first time that you actually realized that you had a story to tell and share with others?
Probably I realized I had a story to tell while I was attending AMU as a junior in college. I pretty much had an opportunity to meet a woman of wisdom who had a story to tell also. And I was blessed to be an active role in her project. And it inspired me how her story unfolded. And to be a part of that project really was very monumental for me. And I knew one day I would walk behind her footsteps, filling that big gap of just leaving a legacy behind. It's very important to document things in life that others could use along the way.
And I agree with you. I love that one word that you just used, which is legacy, because I like to use that word myself. It's the same way with me. I want to leave a legacy behind for all of the younger people. I want to leave a legacy behind for my grandchildren. And I just want to leave a legacy back, period, for anyone that has any inspiration for doing things for themselves.
I agree totally. And congratulations to you also, fellow author.
Thank you.
Wonderful accomplishment.
Yes, it is. Definitely. Yes, and I'm enjoying every minute of just having that, that label of author placed behind my name. But as I said, I couldn't have gotten through this without having Audrey Ori right behind me. When I felt like I was ready to give up, she said, nope, we've got a story to tell. And I continued on with it. Yes.
I agree totally. Yes. She's a wonderful queen.
Yes, she is.
That talented individual.
Yes. Okay, so the next question is, what was the tone that you wanted the readers to actually receive when starting to read your book? Because you know the tone that the author sets is what's going to help determine whether or not the readers are going to want to stay interested in what you have. So what was that tone?
Yes, great question. For me, I was desperate to relay a message of reality. It was a tone of the good, the bad, and the ugly to help the reader understand we will go through things in life and they're to guide us on a certain path of discovery. And in turn, hopefully based on being transparent, it could allow them to take a positive tone in a realistic manner.
Yes, and that's, that's really good. I am a English language arts teacher and I teach writing. And that's one of the most biggest things that my students struggle with is understanding that they have to really set the tone for the piece of writing that they're writing. Because if they don't set the tone, then the reader's going to totally get lost, and it's a possibility that they could put the book down and never pick it back up again. So that's really, really important. And I know as I was writing my book, I got to a certain point where I thought I was doing something wrong when I would get to a section where it would just have me crying or I would be angry. And I thought maybe I could not use that to express, the way I felt in my book. But then I found out that that is one of the best things that can help you to actually get your book, to be a very good book and to get others to want to actually read it. Because now that my book is published and I have other people actually reading it, that's the first thing that they tell me. Oh my God, I couldn't put the book down. It had me in tears, or this sounds like you're talking to me. So I know that setting that tone is one that's really, really, really important. Okay. All right. My next question is, as I was reading your preface, I noticed that you had a section there that I was reading, and that section, what it said was that tradition has a way of holding us back from the truth. And I wanted to ask you, could you explain that? Could you just, tell people what does that really mean?
Right. The tradition is set by somewhere, some tone, some other being of higher power, or a book, or a symbol, or a ritual. Traditions are set. People have to either embrace those traditions or neglect them. Some choose to go down a path of their own discovery. Some choose to follow tradition. So my way of putting that in writing is to just explain that those are judgmental opinions of others that sway us to think or act a certain way or to react to things differently instead of forming our own view or perspective.
And I really like that, because now I kind of feel like you're talking to me with that one too, because of my book. The first reason why I wrote my book was, one, to get closure for myself, and the other was to begin to really know who I was and not who the person was that other people wanted me to be. And I learned that when you are telling the truth, people who don't like the truth, then they tend to be very negative towards you. So I had to learn how to make a way for me to just know that I don't need any validations from anyone, whether they try to judge me or not. I know that there's only one person that can judge me, and that's the higher power. But, as a human being, you don't usually think of it that way. You just simply think of, oh, well, they're saying this about me, and so now I believe, this is who I am. So it was about finding my self-worth, just knowing, who I was and who I am,
Yes,
That's
yes,
the
yes.
whole egg in a nutshell. So,
I agree.
one more question and then I'm going to let you talk. In the beginning of the
Mm-hmm.
book, you had a lot of pictures, and I believe
Yes.
it was in the front, and it was
Mm-hmm.
where the dedication was. It said Nia Jana, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and now
Janelle,
Yeah. Could you tell me who are those people?
they are my legacy. They
They're
are
your.
my children, my
That's
seed,
right. Yes.
my daughter and my son.
Yes, yes. Well, they should be very proud of you. That's for sure. Definitely, definitely,
Thank you,
definitely,
God.
definitely. And I'm sure that they are looking up to you. And if they're not looking up to you, shame, shame. They better start looking up to you because you are definitely paving the way, for them. So from this
Correct.
point on out, I'm going to let you talk to the social media audience and let them know what's the name of your book and what is your book
Mm-hmm.
about.
Yes. So, based on those great questions you just asked, uh, guided me to title the book The Setup. The Setup is a book, is mainly a fiction memoir regarding things that happened in my life as an adolescent, experiencing someone murdered in front of me, how that traumatic occurrence affected my life over time, and the importance of mental health within our community. We must pour into positive things into our souls so it's rooted so that we can birth out good gifts and not bad seeds. So the book is mainly a way of writing it in a tone of healing from those traumatic experiences that I occurred. And also it talked about the different women that had a role in it at certain points of doubt, low self-esteem. You talked about self-identity. That woman who lost her self-identity being consumed in having a lot of weight on her shoulder of pouring into others. So the book is mainly a book regarding trial and error, how to overcome life's obstacles if you're dealing with, I feel, all things in terms of guilt, self-awareness, violence, uh, homelessness, just knowing who you are as a people. And I definitely love poetry, so I included my poems within the book to inspire people, all aspects of human beings.
Okay, okay. And I did notice that. I noticed that you did have some poetry that was in there. And I thought that that was really good because, after all, poetry is a form of writing. And it is one that, you can definitely express yourself through that as well. And so, if you had to think about anything that you did not include in your book, what would that be?
I feel I did not include possibly a self-help uh, personal guide, if you will, in terms of journaling. So that would be one part that I know that was, left out.
And that would be something good as well too, if you could even come back and come up with another book with that in there, because I think for a lot of women, keeping a journal is something good, because that way if you keep a journal, you can keep your thoughts written down, and who knows where those thoughts could possibly take you. Not only that, but think about the number of people that you might be able to help, by just,
Right.
you know, um, giving them that inspiration to say, write down your thoughts. Your thoughts are important. And I know I tell my students at school every day, and as well, I remind myself, your thoughts are your thoughts. And no one can take your thoughts and tell you your thoughts are wrong. They may say, well, I don't agree, but they can't tell you that your thoughts are not, they're not right. And I know when I was writing my book, I also had someone very close to me that told me, when you finish writing your book, you're probably going to have a lot of people that are going to, go against what you're saying, or they're going to have a difference of opinion. And my answer to it was, I don't really care what their opinion is, because this is my story. And I'm telling my story. So who cares? If you want to read it, you read it. If you don't want to read it, then you don't have to read it. But
I agree.
I really enjoy being able to talk with you, about your book. And so my final question is, if you have one thing that you could tell anyone that's struggling right now with knowing whether or not they should tell their story or they should not tell their story, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to push. I would tell them as if their life depended on it. I would tell them to be proactive and not reactive. We must tell our own stories before someone else does.
You are
That's
so
what I would say.
right. Oh my God, you are so right. And as a matter of fact, I used that word in my inspiration today about pushing, because a lot of people think that your life has limitations on it. You shouldn't